The Project Flight airplane testing game was made public for a short amount of time, and this is what we found out. Planes such as the E195E2, 757, Bombardier Challenger 650 and 727 are here, as well as the Zelensky barrel main plane. If you couldn't tell, none of these are in the game, but they are coming in future updates. The Zelensky plane might not be added as an Easter egg or a code plane in the future, however for now this is not known. Continuing with the rest of the game, there is a Punta Cana model in the game which shows the progress that has been made so far. The jetways look like this and are very textured as well as what seems to be texture testing on the roof of the airport, since each piece looks different. Let's now talk about the cockpits. Kurt just sent the link to the aircraft testing place with a few notes, including that middle support has not been tested, so it is not expected to work, as well as the cockpit itself not being completed and that not everything might work. With that in mind, let's have a look at the cockpit and test how it's like. Right away we can see that the PFD works, the navigation display is on but doesn't show you heading, and the engine display also works and moves with the engines. You can click most of the buttons and you can even drag the flaps and spoilers down. The autopilot panel can be used and rotated, and it is synced with the autopilot UI so you can use whichever you prefer. One Easter egg I noticed was this one, which says, "Hello, this texture might be a bit too low res to read, but hi, it's me Coco, I'm the developer of this cockpit." The PFD works and displays your speed and altitude. The screen on the right is the navigation display, unfortunately does not work yet. Last but not least, the screen in the middle is the engine display. Moving your mouse left and right will move the tiller and the yoke. Mouse control is inverted, so if you point your mouse up, the yoke will move back, which is how it should be, but it might be a bit confusing for those who aren't aware. Rudders work by pressing Z and X, and by pressing B, it will activate the brakes. Engine start is realistic and has most of the things that will require you to start the plane. The engine start switch is put in the correct position and the fuel pumps are turned on. After the engine spool up to 40%, either you or the game will automatically pull the fuel cut-off lever up. The speed brake lever is on the left and the lever for the flaps is on the right. You unfortunately cannot pick a certain amount of degrees for your flaps spoilers, only the normal in-game ones, which are up, land or take off for flaps, and up, flight or fall for the spoilers. Let's try do a small flight now that we know how it all works and which button do which things. Just like in the real plane, the airspeed indicator starts at 45 knots. This is not a mistake. The altitude indicator goes up, but unfortunately the navigation display still does not work. Like I said before testing this plane, the cockpit itself is not completed, so it is not expected to work. This is only a preview. This is pretty cool and it feels very immersive to fly like this. When banking left or right, the terrain of the PFD sometimes clip through and show on your other screens, which is a thing which I noticed. The cockpit is quite laggy sometimes, but it will be optimized to work on anyone's device. When pressing certain buttons on the autopilot panel such as speed, heading select or altitude hold, they will light up. Fortunately, that is all that I can show you today. If you have any opinions you would like to share on the cockpits, let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, see you soon.